Hello guys, welcome to Stellaris. This is a new game from Paradox Development Studio, which is the same studio that created the Crusader Kings, which is one of my all-time favorite strategy games. Crusader Kings 2 was very hard to get into, but very rewarding when you finally got into the mechanics of the game and played it and created your own stories. It's a science fiction, grand strategy game where you take your race, develop technologies and explore other solar systems. So if you're familiar with 4X games, you're also familiar with the premise here. There's multiplayer support and there's also Steam Workshop support, so you can get mods for the game. I'm sure there'll be a thriving community around the game once it is released, and it'll be released on May 9th, which is in 3 or 4 days, something like that. Let's jump right into it and start a new game. I already played the game for about 2 hours, so I have a decent idea of the basic mechanics. So there are 8 predefined races that you can choose from. You can also create your own. You can edit a race and change the appearance, name and traits and all of the other stuff here, as well as the kind of ships they start with. So there's an infinite amount of races. You can create your own, and I'm sure there'll also be modded new races very soon. But we'll just start with one of the predefined ones. There are 2 human races, the United Nations of Earth, the Commonwealth of Man, and you can see that we start with some different technologies and different look of ships and traits, and even the government. I'll just quickly scroll down here so you can take a look at the aliens, what they look like. Got a nice little animation as well. I think this one looks pretty cool. You don't want to get on the bad side of this guy. He just looks badass. Let's take a look at this. But we'll start with the United Nations of Earth. The myriad human nations that constitute the interstellar government are disparate, yet united in purpose. These bipedal mammalians have developed a society that encourages and even thrives on individual freedoms and cultural differences. As a result, humans tend to integrate well with alien populations. Despite this, they have strong martial traditions produced by millennia of intermittent warfare on their homeworld, and their sometimes aggressive and unpredictable nature should not be underestimated. So we start with an indirect democracy, which means that we will hold an election every 5 years. Which is important because you actually change your ruler and the traits of your ruler. And we start with better leader skills and reduced recruitment cost to leaders. And since we are human, we are mammalian and we are quick learners, plus 25% leader experience gains, which is also a neat trait because all of our fleets and planets and science vessels and whatever we have can have recruited leaders to run them better. And we're nomadic, migration time minus 50% and resettlement cost minus 33%, so expanding is fairly easy. We start out with the nuclear missiles, space-to-space missiles equipped with high-yield nuclear warheads. Warp travel. The warp drive generates a subspace bubble around the ship, making faster than light speeds attainable. This allows for free but relatively slow travel between stars given the great distances involved. And there are other modes of travel, and they all have their benefits and drawbacks. I think there are 3 modes of travel. And we start with this kind of ships, the mammalian ships. And that's how they look on the map. And our homeworld is Earth. We're all very well familiar with that, so let's go. So here we can choose the galaxy size. We'll just go with a medium one. And galaxy shape, we can select how many AI empires we want. So we'll go with 17, which is a lot really for a medium-sized galaxy. So you can have a huge game if you want. Advanced AI starts, 4 of them. Difficulty normal, allowed faster than light method, any. So it's described here that there are warp, hyperdrive and wormholes, and they're all enabled. Iron Man mode, if you have played XCOM you're familiar with this. If we play Iron Man we cannot save other than when we leave the game, and all of our decisions will last through the entire game. So let's not play that right now. Let's go. Much has happened since modern humans first emerged in Africa some 200,000 years ago. Our kind spread rapidly across most of the globe, and soon the first civilizations took form. Scientific progress has been swift, though not without cost. Wars claimed millions of lives even before the atom was tamed, and the turmoil of the 21st century saw the mandate of the United Nations gradually expanded in an effort to create stability. By the early 22nd century, the supranational organization had become a de facto world government. Though some will resent the power wielded by the UN, as evidenced during the Mauritian police action of '88, few can deny the technological breakthroughs that have come out of the sponsored research programs. With the recent completion of the first true starships, mankind is about to embark on a new era of space exploration.
Good day, Madam President. I am Veer, a prototype synthetic intelligence. My job is to offer advice and assistance as we seek our destiny among the stars.
Yeah, so we start out with the human race having discovered faster than light travel. And this is the tutorial bot. We can select the full tutorial. We will not do that because I already did that. I think we'll go with tips only. You will get tips and suggestions as you explore the game systems. Recommended for novice to intermediate players. Let's do that.
Very well. I will provide tips, explaining only basic functions and tools as you explore them.
So when we start out, we have a fleet, and you can see its power here, 75. And we can also zoom in and take a look at it. It's right here. This is military ships. And the game's paused right now, so don't worry about it. And this is a research ship, and this is a construction ship, and this is Earth, our first colony in the Sol system. We also have a galaxy map. If you press the M key, you zoom out here, and we can see it's procedurally generated, so this time it's different than the last game I played with the same race. We have Bernard's star here, and Alpha Centauri, that's in a sphere of influence, which means that we can harvest resources here. But for now we'll head back to Sol. I will select a research ship. You can also do it over here on the outliner.
This is our science ship, which is used to survey astronomical objects such as planets in a star system. A planet needs to be surveyed in order to make its resources visible.
So we'll do that right now. We have selected the science ship, and we can see Jon Tyler is the scientist in charge aboard the science ship. So press survey, and we'll select anything in the system, like this one here, and he'll survey the entire system. So the science ship will go to work when we unpause the game. But first let's check these. Physics research, and society research, and engineering research. So let's head into the technology tab up here.
The technology screen is where we will be directing our research efforts. Technologies are categorized into 3 different fields, with each field typically having 3 available research options.
So we have 3 scientists, and you can also do research without a scientist, but that's not recommended, it'll be slower. So we have to select research for each of these 3 fields. So we can build a solar panel network. Advances in solar panel technology could potentially reduce the operating costs of our spaceports. We'll get that one first. And society, we can research a colony ship, biolab, or naval capacity. We'll research the colony ship. Engineering, we can research this iron thruster. These electric thrusters use beams of iron to generate thrust without the need for propellant. Or we could get the increased armor. We could get a defense platform. Well, let's go for the iron thruster. So now that we have our research settled, we can unpause the game, because we need to survey around here a little bit before we can start using our construction ship to build stations to harvest minerals. But while we survey, we'll head to Earth.
This is our homeworld and the capital of our empire. The planet's summary screen, which we are currently looking at, provides an overview of the planet's important statistics.
This is the governor, and he has some traits and makes Earth run more efficiently. And there's some different tabs down here. This is the planet summary. If you switch to the surface,
here we see a visual representation of this planet's surface. divided into tiles. This tab is only visible on colonies and surveyed worlds that are habitable. Each pop occupies a single tile, which means that there can never be more pops on a planet than there are free tiles.
So we can see that some of these tiles have inhabitants, and that's called a pop. This one has an inhabitant but no building. And same here. And this one has a building in the background, a power plant. And these are blocked, and we can remove them. It costs some resources to remove the block, and then we can have a pop there and we can build a building. So right now we should build a building here, I think.
Some buildings may cause adjacency effects to other buildings in neighboring tiles. Let us take this into consideration when constructing new facilities.
We'll build this mining network because there's already minerals here. Constructing a mining network on this tile will suppress the collection of the resource 1 food, so maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should just leave it as it is. Yeah, let's do that. Instead we'll build a farm over here. So we get increased food production. And then we should see about the... we don't need to remove any blocks for now, I think, because we have still 3 tiles where we have not built yet. But let's just remove 1 block. So we remove this one. And it'll cost us some electricity and minerals. So that's going. And our science ship is heading over here to investigate Uranus. Now we have already surveyed here this asteroid, and we can see there are 2 minerals. So we'll select a construction ship.
This is our construction ship, which is used to construct space stations. When an astronomical object, such as a planet, has been surveyed, we can order this ship to build a research station or a mining station to exploit any resources it may have.
Yeah, so we know there are 2 minerals here, and we have not exploited them, and we can see we haven't exploited them because this number is not green. So we'll build a mining station right here on this asteroid. We'll send the construction ship there. And let's head back to Earth and take a look at armies.
This is where we manage all ground forces on this planet. The upper portion of this view is divided into 3 sections. The top section represents the orbital space above the planet. The middle section is the atmosphere, and the bottom section is the surface. Anomaly found.
So now our science ship has found an anomaly, and we can research it. And sometimes you'll have a failure of risk. That means that if it fails, you might lose the ship or the scientist, but there's no risk here, so let's just research this anomaly. It's right here. So the research ship will head down there and scan it in a bit. Yes, we can recruit armies if you want. And that'll cost some minerals. But we already have the first planetary guard defense army, so we'll just stick with that for now.
The spaceport tab is where we view orbiting fleets, build new ships, and upgrade the station itself. If a planet has no spaceport, we can order the construction of one if we have the necessary resources.
Now these are modules, and we don't really have any research modules that we could install, so we only have this missile defense module. And we have the first fleet stationed here for now, but let's build another science ship so we can start surveying other systems. So when this bar reaches full, we will have built the science ship.
We have found an anomaly. From time to time, our science ships will discover strange things while surveying worlds. These can be researched by scientists, but be certain their skills are up to the task.
The anomaly on a planet Mars shows traces of other interstellar travelers. A weak FTL trail shows that someone was here long ago, maybe watching our planet for potential allies. It is too diminished to trace any further. We should continue to investigate these sorts of anomalies whenever we get the chance. It will most assuredly grant us new knowledge and technology. So we finished the construction of a mining station over here, and now we can see we're using these minerals because number 2 turned green, and the mining station.
Mining stations are used to extract the minerals and strategic resources of the object they orbit.
So we got a contact report, remnants. Weeks after the UNS Lagrange latest fruitful exploratory survey, human xenologists are practically falling over themselves to publish their takes on findings on Mars. This feverish storm is the scientific community has had some negative yet temporary impact on pursuits in other fields. Just pause the game real quick and we'll run through all of the tabs up here. We already checked out technology. This is the situation log.
The situation log displays a list of all currently available special projects and various other points of interest. New items will likely appear as we begin exploring the galaxy.
Yeah, so we don't have anything yet. If you are playing with the tutorial, you'll have some objectives here. And the ship designer.
All the ships in use within our empire are designed here. New hull sizes and components will be unlocked as we research new technologies.
Now we can do this and construct a new design. As we wanted to do a corvette, and then we would select the modules here that we would put in it, and offensive capabilities and defensive. But you can also just auto-complete ship, and it'll be filled automatically. And if you don't want to deal with this, you can always just click auto-generate designs and the game will take care of it for you. And these are the contacts.
In the contact screen, we see a detailed list of all the various empires we have encountered. Their opinions of us are visible at a glance, and we can quickly and easily engage in diplomacy.
Yeah, we haven't met any alien races yet, but if we do, we can establish embassies and we can of course bargain with them. Let's take a look at the empire.
The empire screen lists the planets of our empire, with leaders and the different factions in separate tabs. It also lets us create and manage sectors.
And this is the list of all of our colonized planets. We only have Earth right now, but we could actually create a sector if we had a lot of planets and designate a capital for the sector and have them manage themselves. And this is the government.
The government screen presents us with information regarding our empire and its government. Here we can see our ruler and any related effects.
So we can see that Dolores Mwanga is the president currently. And she has some ruler traits: fertility preacher, plus 10% food and minus 20% army cost. Governing ethics, we already looked at that. And next election, and that's important because if you take a look at the election overview, when it's election time, there'll be contenders down here, and they might be worse than she is, and you could actually spend some influence to support her in the election. And let's just quickly run through all of this stuff up here. Energy credits. This is what we need for upkeep for all of our stuff, and also for bargaining. It's sort of the currency. And minerals, we need that to build stuff. And this is influence that we can spend on different things, like rigging the election. And this is physics research points, and society research, engineering research. And these are strategic resources, and we have to actually research them first before they'll show up, and then we can claim them. And this is directly controlled planets, 1 out of 5, and we can expand the number of planets we can have by technology. And right now we have 3 out of 12 naval capacity. We can also expand that. So let's unpause the game. And we can speed up the game up here. If we press this, we can go up to fast or fastest.
Construction complete.
So now we just created the colony ship, but we haven't found anywhere to colonize yet. So our construction ship is sleeping. It means it has nothing to do. So we'll click that. And then we'll move over here.
Construction complete.
And then we would like to build a mining station here. But we still need some minerals. We need 81 and we only have 69. So we have to wait. So we'll just send it over there and enter orbit. And now that everything's busy, we'll just speed up the game. So you can see our construction ship making its way over there to enter orbit. We did build the science ship at Earth, so let's get that going. Let's press M, take a look at the galactic map, and then right click on Bernard's star, and it will survey that system, but we need a scientist to do that. So we'll assign a leader.
The Leaders tab lets us hire, dismiss, and assign idle governors, scientists, admirals, and generals.
So right now we don't have any idle scientists, so let's recruit. And here we spend influence points to gain a scientist. And they have different traits. This one is expertise is particles, research speed plus 10% for that. Aroma, survey speed plus 25%. Computing, increased research speed for that, but we'll get the Roma because we are sending her out to survey. So Galina Polachev, you are hired. So we'll select her, install her on our science ship, and then we'll send it over here to Bernard Star. Actually, let's send her over to Alpha Centauri and survey that system. So she'll be on her way. Let's just take a look at Sol again here. Other science ship is not done here yet with surveying Sol.
Hostile fleet detected. Situation log updated. Evading hostile fleet.
So a lot just happened. The first thing is we're evading a hostile fleet. So we met some aliens. We have encountered some form of alien vessels in the Alpha Centauri system. These strange objects have been flagged as hombres until we can learn more about them. We should proceed with caution. Enigmatic spacefarers. The United Nations of Earth has finally encountered fellow wanderers among the stars. Despite their intentions being unknown and potentially even hostile, the atmosphere on Earth following the report from our contact fleet can best be described as rapturous. We also found an unidentified object on a direct course towards Alpha Centauri.
System survey complete.
And the system survey is complete. Let's pause the game.
These are unknown spacefaring entities. We can learn more about them and maybe even initiate first contact by completing the appropriate special project.
Yeah, so this is the event queue up here. You can see what had just happened. And we can investigate these. We don't know anything about them yet. So if you press investigate, we can select them here in the situation log. And then we can research what they are, and that'll pause society research while that is going on, but we'll do it to figure out what's up with that alien encounter. And this is the ship that just evaded the entering hostile fleet, the UNS Marco Polo. So we'll send her somewhere else. See, this is where we met the enemy, or the potential enemy. So we'll send her down to Bernard Star instead and survey there. And then we have an idle science ship that just finished surveying everything here. And we don't really have anything else in our sphere of influence here. So now we'll go beyond that. So let's go down here and see what that's all about. Survey that system. And then we'll select the construction ship. And we'll have it build a mining station here, so we can exploit the 2 energy credits. And we'll unpause the game. Slow it down a little bit too fast. And if you want to get rid of these, you can just right click them and they'll be gone. So we're doing okay on everything. I think that we'll go to Earth and we'll build a corvette. Because we did encounter something that might be hostile, and we probably will need to clear it out of this system over here. At least send the Navy over there to check it out. See if we can deal with it. depending on how the research pans out. So what you want to do when you play the game, you just want to make sure that nothing is idle over here. And that your resources are in good shape. And that you have research going on all fronts.
Construction complete.
Let's pause the game a little bit here. We just finished building this mining station. So now this is green, and that means we are exploiting that. There's also a bunch of resources over here. But we don't have enough minerals yet to build anything. So we'll just send the construction ship over here in orbit. Let's take a look at the research, how far we are. So now society research is investigating the hubris that we ran into, and everything's progressing fine. So let's just start the game back up.
Hostile fleet detected.
So we just saw a hostile fleet again. Our leader has gained a level, the scientist, that's good.
Military fleets are used to protect our emerging empire from threats, or to expand our glorious rule through force of arms, if we so wish.
So now we built an extra corvette, so we have 4, but we don't have a leader here. So we would like to recruit an admiral for our fleet. Let's take a look at the traits. Gale speed plus 5% evasion, sublight speed plus 20%, and speed plus 20%. So there's a lot of mobility here. Oh, this one's just evasion plus 15%, so that's more combat oriented. Aggressive, fire rate plus 20%. I like the idea of having a mobility because we'll probably only have one fleet for a while. So let's recruit Admiral Dia Panikar. And we'll assign her to our fleet. And I think we'll just wait for our research on the Humbrius to finish before we do anything.
Special project complete.
The entities encountered by our fleet some time ago are new wondrous forms of space-borne life, quickly nicknamed Space Amoeba. Following an analyst's gross misreading of initial sensor output, the creature is in fact larger than the average human corvette. Yeah, so it's no amoeba. We should leave it be and remotely monitor the creature and its kin from Earth. So we can either say issue a special project for remote space amoeba study, or we could just say that we expect our fleet to take it out soon. But let's just study it.
Situation log updated.
So now we can go to the situation log and we can research this in 90 days. Let's do that.
The Factions tab provides an overview of the populace's political groupings and allows us to hear their demands and interact with them.
So this is a political element, but we don't have any factions yet. So we'll just close that down. So we're still waiting to make some more minerals available for building a mining station up here. So just resume the game. I think we have enough now. Let's just pause and we'll build something right here. Need to get the construction ship. We need 81, so just short. Just enter orbit there. Just wait for this to tick up. There we go. So we'll build a mining station here to exploit these 2 minerals. And we'll go to the galactic map and we'll just take a look what has been found down here. So he's almost done. He found some resources, energy credits and society research. And where's our second science ship? Is down there in Sirius. Just want to see what's here. Some minerals and also society research, and it's not done yet with surveying. So let's unpause the game again.
Special project complete.
The space amoebas, nicknamed now lovingly popularized on Earth, are solitary animals. When left to their own devices, All but the youngest specimens are accompanied by quasi-independent organisms dubbed flagella, seemingly spawned by the amoeba and programmed through liquid RNA-laced secretions to do the bidding of the host. Initially assumed to be young space amoebas, the flagella do not seem to factor into any reproductive mechanics, each individual flagellum instead operating solely as a disconnected limb for its host amoeba. These flagella are capable of manipulating and even attacking objects in an impressive yet restricted range around the host, periodically returning to lodge inside the host's amoeba body for reprogramming. There are potential military applications of the graceful patterns of circulation apparent in the flagella's movement. So we gained flagellating movement modifier, giving a plus 5% to evasion.
System survey complete.
So we finished surveying Bernard's star. Now we haven't found any habitable planets yet. So we will want the science vessel to move on. I think we'll send it over here again. Maybe this enemy left. So we can actually survey Alpha Centauri. There might be a habitable planet over there. And I think we'll send the fleet just in case. We'll send our military. We only have 100 in military power though, so I'm not sure that we could actually do anything. Let's unpause the game and see if we encounter.
System survey complete.
There's nobody there, so let's just get the fleet to stay here then. So we'll cancel that move order. Let's take a look at this. Nothing too interesting. I do need the science ship to go survey somewhere else. We'll send it up here. I don't have enough minerals to do anything with the construction ship. Let's look at Alpha Centauri while our survey ship is taking a look in the system.
Hostile fleet detected.
Space amoeba from the spaceborne organics has been detected on a direct course towards the Sirius system. Okay, that doesn't matter. Let's just remove that.
Anomaly found.
As a science ship scans the surface of Alpha Centauri 3, it becomes quite clear that we have found something out of the ordinary. Its composition and history provides it with extra materials that we should take opportunity to gather. We will surely come across even more irregularities like this as we survey new planets, and should not underestimate the impact on our expansion. So we'll investigate this anomaly. So it's right here, so a research ship should scan it. And we can see the research progress. And you can zoom in on all of your ships also when they're fighting. Habitable world survey. We now know without a doubt that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to Earth. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about the various forms of alien life found throughout the galaxy. Efforts to catalog the life forms we encounter are already underway, but xenobiologists have urged us to focus our planetary survey efforts on habitable life-bearing worlds. A commendable initiative.
Situation log updated.
Let's pause the game, take a look at the situation log. Yeah, so we need to survey 8 habitable worlds. We have to look for those. I'm suspecting that we'll find one in Alpha Centauri, but I'm not exactly sure. But we'll see about that in the next episode. We'll leave off here. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.